Welcome back to the second episode of ISO 9001 series. Today we will be discussing about three fundamental factors which are basically the foundation of any of the ISO management systems, whether it is quality, environment, health and safety, supply chain security, or energy management system, asset management systems. All the management systems, they are following the same fundamental concept. So number one is the Annex SL. Before we enter into ISO 9001, we need to know what is Annex SL. Number two is about process approach, and number three is risk-based thinking. So we will try to cover all three concepts in this particular episode, but if time doesn't allow us to complete all three subjects in one episode, maybe we will split it into more than one episode. So first thing first, Annex SL. What is Annex SL? So Annex SL is basically the high-level structure for writing the management system standards. In 2015, they published this document right before the publication of ISO 9001 standard. I think at that point of time, they realized that they are preaching the whole world about standardization. They are developing quality standards, environment, health and safety, product specifications, testings, everything. But their management system standards were not standardized. Like quality was written in a different way, environment was written in a different way, health and safety was written in a different way. So all these standards, because they have different technical committees which are working on them, so it was on the discretion of the technical committees how to write this standard. So previously they were not aligned, the different terminologies were used. Even the same terminologies at some places, their definitions were different, structure of the clauses, it was completely different, and the details of clause requirements, even in those cases where the commonalities are there in different standards, like some subjects which are there in all the standards like document control, record control, corrective action, continual improvement, even in those areas, the wordings and statements, they were different. Why it is called Annex SL? I don't really know. I looked into the ISO website as well, but they are not specifically defining what do they mean by Annex SL. Annex might be the annexure, SL might be supplementary. That's my assumption. But I didn't find this information anywhere. So they came up with the idea of creating a high-level structure. So all the technical committees, like for quality management system, ISO 9001, the technical committee is TC 176. So all the technical committees which are working on different subjects, different management system standards, now they can follow the high-level structure which is defined in Annex SL. Now, is it necessary for you to go through with all the requirements of Annex SL? The answer is no, because this particular document is not established for you. This information that this particular high-level structure exists and all these standards are following that particular high-level structure, this information is enough for you if you are a professional which is implementing or auditing any of the management system standard. The technical committees which are writing these standards, this particular document is more important for them, because when they write these standards, they have to follow the structure which is provided in Annex SL. But what benefits we got after the release of Annex SL? Now after 2015, all these standards are following the Annex SL. So the terminologies are common, the structure of the standard is common, the clause numbers, they are the same, and the generic clauses which are common in all these standards, they are basically following exactly the same wordings. So the technical committees, what they are doing, they are just copying the requirements, the generic requirements from the Annex SL, and they are pasting in the new standard they are working on. So now if you look at quality, environment, health and safety standards, you will find that their structure is same, the clause numbers, they are same. All these standards are having 10 clauses now, starting from 1 going up to clause 10. All the generic requirements are same. Document control, common in all these standards. Record control, common in all these standards. Continual improvement, common in all these standards. So now if you are implementing an integrated management system, the life is very easy for you, because they are using the same wording, same text, same structure. Now, what are the differences then? There might be subjects which are very much needed in quality, but they are not relevant to environment or health and safety or any other management system. There might be subjects which are extremely important in health and safety, but not relevant in quality. There might be certain subjects which are very relevant to business continuity, but not relevant to environment. So those are the areas where those technical committees can come up with their specific requirements. But those specific requirements also, it will not be creating an impact on the overall structure of the standard. The main clauses will remain the same. At some places, maybe the text will be added. At some places, maybe the sub-clauses will be added. So Annex SL has basically provided us a unified approach. Now, all the management system standards are following the same direction, they are following the same structure, and they are following the same terminologies. This is extremely beneficial for those organizations which are implementing multiple management system standards, because earlier different organizations were facing this difficulty that quality is written in a different way, environmental management system standard is written in a different way, health and safety management system standard is written in a different way. So they were establishing multiple management systems because different management systems were requiring different things in a different way. Now, if you are implementing multiple standards, like most of the organizations around the world, at least they are implementing 3 standards: quality, environment, health and safety. Most of the organizations. In addition to that, your organization might be requiring information security, because maybe data is more important for you. Your organization might be needing to implement business continuity. Maybe business continuity is more important subject for you. Your organization might be interested in implementing energy management system. Maybe the energy cost in your country is extremely high and you want to control the energy cost through the energy management system. Maybe your assets are extremely important and you need to control those assets through the asset management system. Or maybe your organization might be requiring supply chain security management system. You might be in a situation where security is the most important concern in your business. So once you will be implementing all those management systems, because of this Annex SL, because of this similar structure, because of these commonalities, because of following exactly the same pattern and the requirements and the clauses, you will be feeling a little bit of ease and you will be able to establish an effective integrated management system standard. So we will keep our today's session only for Annex SL. In the next session, we will be discussing about the risk-based thinking and process approach. These are the 2 fundamental concepts which are used in all ISO management system standards. And majority of the people, they know about them, but they don't realize how important they are when you look into the requirements of ISO standards. Because without understanding and following the fundamental concepts behind the ISO standards, if you implement those clauses, you will be completely lost. Most of the organizations around the globe and most of the auditors around the globe, they have lost the track. They are looking into the requirements of these standards, and they just try to either, if you are an implementer, you just try to develop the compliance of those requirements, and if you are an auditor, you are just trying to verify the compliance of these standards. Believe me, you are completely off track. This is not the way you should look into these standards. You need to understand what is behind these requirements. And if you can't see what is behind these requirements, you can't implement those requirements effectively. So understanding process approach and risk-based thinking is extremely important. Wait for the next episode. Thank you very much.